Welcome back, Star Wars fans, to episode 119 of Reynolds Reviews. And on today's episode, I attended my very first Echo Live event. Cue the march. Welcome back, everyone. Now, like I said in the intro, last week I attended my very first Echo Live event. Now, if you don't know what Echo is, it's a giant Star Wars convention with things like vendors there selling modern and vintage Star Wars toys, vehicles, play sets, action figures, everything you could possibly think of. There's things like cosplay going on, Jedi School, even some actors from the movies signing photographs and taking pictures. It's just an amazing event, and I was very much looking forward to attending. But I was also looking forward to meeting some very, very familiar faces as well. And luckily, I took you guys along. leaving. I'm leaving. There we go, everyone. So as you can see, I had an absolutely amazing day, met some fantastic people. I really did have a great time. So we're going to go through the things I picked up. Now, I didn't pick up anything huge, nothing extravagant, nothing necessarily expensive, because I went on the train and anything that came back with me had to come back on the train as well. So everything I got had to go in a bag. But obviously, I was always going to start with these guys. As you saw in the video, I immediately hit the jackpot. A big box of loose Luke Bespins, in pretty good shape as well for what I buy them for. So I had a good rummage through, £5 each. I thought a couple of these are coming on with me. So we've got the very light yellow haired Luke Bespin, attached lightsaber, and I actually just love the face sculpt on this. The face sculpts are very different depending on which one you get. Obviously hair colour, boot colour, etc. But I think this one is a COO Hong Kong. I don't know if you can see that on camera. Yeah, that's a Hong Kong. So I was always going to pick a couple of these up, and I picked up another one as well. So this is what would you call the light brown hair? I always get confused to what hair's what, because there's light brown hair, auburn hair, they're all light ginger, orange. I mean, orange is extremely rare, but... And then we've got non-attached lightsaber and what I would call sort of light brown hair. But they were always going to come home with me. So very, very pleased to pick those up. But one thing specifically that I was going for was... I needed a loose Max Rebo. Now, if you collect Star Wars or vintage Star Wars, you will know that it's not easy to get a Max Rebo that is still blue. His limbs and his head tend to go very white. Now, obviously, you can see this one is starting to go, but I actually think this one's in pretty good shape. You can see his torso is far bluer than his arms and his legs and his head, but if you go onto eBay, they're usually even worse than that. So I was quite happy to pick that one up. £25, I was really pleased with that. So that will feature in a future video. Yeah, very pleased with those. Okay, so my next pickup was this guy. Now, I was very, very pleased to get this guy. I've been looking for the Stormtrooper Luke and the Stormtrooper Han in the vintage collection. I don't buy a huge amount of vintage collection, but these are two figures that I was looking for on the day. Now, I'd not seen them for any less than £20 to £25, and I was going round and I couldn't find a cheaper one. And then Tim from Boss Bounty, who I'd also met on the day as well, mentioned that he'd seen a vendor selling one for £12, so he took me to where he'd seen it, and sure enough, there it was, and I managed to pick this guy up for £12, so very, very pleased with that. Thank you, Tim, for putting me onto it. But yeah, as like I said, I'm not a massive fan, I'm a massive fan of vintage collection. I'm not a massive collector of vintage collection. I'm a huge fan of vintage collection. But this one, and like I say, I would like the Han to go with it, but I was definitely pleased to get this one into the collection. So hopefully I'll pick the Han one up soon. But yeah, I just think that's a great image on the side, and I really do like that figure as well. So very pleased to get that one. We've got VC169. Got the other characters in the wave there, but yeah, really, really pleased to get that, and at a bargain price, thanks to Tim. So thank you, Tim, for putting me onto that. Okay, yeah, so let's move on. Okay, so the next item I picked up was these Return of the Jedi speeder bike instructions. Now, a few months, no, it's probably more than a few months ago now, maybe last year, sort of beginning of last year, in fact, I picked up a boxed speeder bike on eBay. Obviously, came with a box, came with everything with a speeder bike, but it didn't have its instructions, so I was very pleased to pick these up. And not only pick them up, but pick them up in such good condition. Now, I'd seen a couple on the day, but most of them were ripped and just a bit dog-eared. One even had coffee stains all over it. So to see this one for pretty much the same price in such good condition, I was really, really pleased with. I mean, there's not a mark on it, and I mean, look at that. It's such good condition. Really, really pleased to spot that when I did. So now my speeder bike is complete. It's got box and it's now got its instructions. So very, very pleased to pick that up. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, and the next thing I picked up is very, very special. Now, you'll have seen on the video, Gianni and Greg. Gianni and Greg are from Red 5 Designs. Gianni, Greg, I'm very sorry that I've been pronouncing that incorrectly for God knows how long now, but these guys are from Red 5 Designs, and they are the guys that are responsible for pretty much the most comprehensive and detailed vintage Kenner action figure guidebook you are ever likely to see. And they were at Echo on the day. Now, I was very lucky to spend some significant time with them over the weekend, but not only were they talking about the book that's obviously very, very close to being complete now, they also mentioned now that they are doing these mini books. And what these mini books do is these books identify the card back, the Kenner card back that you may have in your collection. So, for example, it will give you the exact sort of card which you own. So if you've got a Star Wars card and it's a 12 back, I mean, it's got pictures on the front, so you can go into this book, find the Star Wars section, find the 12 back section. It will then tell you what page to go to, so you go to that page and then it tells you all the different variations of a 12 back card. So you will identify what is your card, so whether it's got an offer on the front or anything like that, you'll be able to find that offer. It will then send you to another page, and eventually you will be able to identify the exact card and the exact variation that you have got in your collection. And that covers Star Wars cards, Empire cards and Jedi cards. But that is an absolutely unbelievable mini book. Really good price as well. I think they sell these at £28, but it was an absolute steal on the day. And the guys were obviously at the event showing off the guidebook, and they had these as well. So I was always going to pick these up. Very, very helpful for someone like me whose knowledge is always growing when it comes to Star Wars. But this will help me massively. I'm partial to a card back, so identifying them, this is going to help me massively. I would show you inside the book, guys, but I've not actually read it yet properly, and I really don't want to crease it, so I'm a little bit reluctant to get into it properly because I'm worried about creasing the spine. But what an absolutely beautiful book. Yeah, I'm not sure if these are available, actually. I should have checked out. But if you go onto the Red 5 website, there are email addresses there for Gianni and Greg. If you fancy one of these books or the Vintage Kenner Guidebook, if you didn't get involved with the Kickstarter, get in touch with them. I'm sure they will help you out on ways to get your hands on a book. They may well be doing a second run as well. But if you're interested in this book or the guidebook from the Kickstarter, jump onto Red 5 Designs website. I will leave a link in the description below. Get in touch with Gianni or Greg. I'm sure they will be help you out. But what an amazing book. I'm so pleased that I picked this one up. Okay, so let's jump into the next one. Okay, so here's the next item. Or should I say, this is actually the next two items. Now, not only did I pick up this lovely retro collection Mandalorian Boba Fett at Echo, I also picked up the case. Now, this is an acrylic case, but it's not from GW Acrylic. It's actually from Action Plastics. Now, they were there on the day. They are now doing these acrylic cases, and they had a great offer on the day. The case was £11, and I managed to get the Boba Fett for 12 as well. Very pleased to see the Boba Fett there because my pre-order hasn't arrived yet, so I was very pleased to see this guy. Standard retro collection backing, they're all the same, but I actually think he looks fantastic in this case. So very, very pleased. And I made a bit of a decision while I was at Echo when I was picking up this guy and a couple of the cases. I am quite literally out of space in the base at the moment. I know I say that a lot, but I am quite literally out of space now. So if anything that comes at the moment, any figures or anything like that, they are quite literally going straight into boxes or drawers, straight into storage, which is quite sad really. So I made a bit of a decision while I was at Echo that from now on, until I've got some more shelves up, which sadly the details will have to go. I'm sorry, Paul, they will. The helmets will obviously stay and go on the shelves, but the details will have to go, and I'm going to shelve that wall out. But until I've done that, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop buying action figures, and I'm just going to concentrate on displaying what I've got. So I'm actually going to start picking up a few more of these cases and just displaying what I've already got, what I feel a little bit better, a little bit more optimal, and just try and concentrate on displaying things better than what I've done at the moment. Now, I'm quite happy with my displays, but I just feel I can do a little bit more with it, and these cases really do make things pop. Now, generally I've always gone for the softer plastic cases. These are obviously a lot more expensive, but they do really display things brilliantly well. So very pleased to get the Mandalorian Boba Fett retro collection, but also I'm going to start picking up these cases as well. And I mean, for £11 I just thought they were worth picking up. But yeah, very, very pleased with those. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. Okay, and here's another pickup. Now, Luke Bespin is not the pickup on this particular section of the video. The card back and the figure is something that I already had. It's the case that we are looking at. So I picked this case up from GW Acrylics while I was at Echo, and I am so impressed with it. Now, this isn't just a standard acrylic case. It's also got the stand in the front, so you can actually fit a loose figure in there. And these are absolutely ideal for the direction that I'm now going to go in. So Unfortunately, I'm not in a situation where I can buy original carded figures. I just don't have the money to be able to do that. But this is a superb plan B. So this is actually now how I'm going to display my loose figures from now on. Obviously, I'm not in a position where I can get these cases for every figure that I've got, but just one of each. I'm going to start trying to do this with them. I'm going to pick up a card back, put the original figure on the stand inside the case and display them this way. Christian over at Smuggler's Canyon knows I'm partial to a card back, and I just think it's a far more affordable way for someone like me to do this and be able to display loose figures with their corresponding card. And in these cases from GW Acrylic, I just think they superbly display them, just showcase them so well. And if you can't afford original carded figures, I think this is a really, really good and affordable plan B. So this is what I'm going to do now. Like I said, alluding to the fact that I'm now going to just start trying to display things I've already got a little bit better rather than keep buying things, because at the moment, anything I buy just ends up in a drawer or a box because I've got nowhere to display it at the moment. But these cases from GW Acrylic, I absolutely love them. The ones with the stands, like I say, so you can put a loose figure in there, they are superb and just a fantastic and affordable option if you can't afford original carded figures. So this is what I'm going to do going forward. I will be picking up a few more of these. I've got a Snowtrooper to do, as well as a Biker Scout and a Jedi loot now as well. So I just think they display things superbly well and really make your figures, your loose figures, pop on their card back. I mean, I don't mind the fact that it's ripped at the back. You're always going to get that, but I still think they display brilliantly well. So this is what I'm going to do going forward. Okay, so there's one more item to show. And here is the last item. Now, as you can see, I can barely get it in the shot. This is a poster of, obviously, my favourite character, Boba Fett, a Palatoy poster with the Bounty Hunter offer on as well. Now, this is a poster that I wanted. The minute I saw it at other events, I'd seen other people look at it during other videos on YouTube and things like that. In fact, I think I saw Matt look at one, I think while he was at Sandown, possibly, and just immediately I knew I wanted this poster. Now, again, I've got no wall space, but I didn't care. I just felt I needed to own this poster, and immediately when I saw it, I knew I wanted it. And good old Si, Manga Fandanga, insisted that he bought this for me. So thank you, Simon. It was so generous. I really didn't want you to do it, but Simon was insistent. What a lovely guy, by the way. I spent some significant time with Simon over that weekend. What an absolute pleasure it was to be in his company. Lovely guy. And then just to top it off, he did this for me, which was just above and beyond Simon. So thank you. I love it. Again, I've already found a place for it in the base. I do need to do some shuffling. Some things are going to have to come down, but this is going up. I don't care what I've got to do. This is going up. So thank you, Simon. I absolutely love it. I mean, look at that star. It's got the Palatoy logo at the bottom. You can't quite see it, actually. There we go, look. We've got the Bounty Hunter offer, what you would have seen on the boxes back in the day as well. But, I mean, just look at that. What a poster. I love it. Absolutely love that style. Love that image. And this will be going up. So thank you again, Simon. You are too kind, my friend. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so let's get everything back on the table and we'll wrap things up. And there we go, everyone. So as you can see, a pretty good haul really from Echo. Nothing massive, nothing extravagant or expensive, but really pleased with what I picked up. But again, I just want to give some shout outs before I carry on, because I met so many people from the community while I was at Echo, and I got so excited to meet people I forgot to take any footage, and I was really upset with myself. But I just want to give some shout outs to people we met as well. So a big shout out to Christian at Smuggler's Canyon and Derby Collector from Instagram. Talk to these guys all the time. They're so helpful when it comes to collecting as well. Really wish I had a little bit more time to spend with those guys. Good old Jack from Django Unbrained and his cousin Ed bumped into those guys whilst at the event. Really wish we would have got you in that photo as well, guys. I do apologise. Connor Fuller over at Fuller's Figures, wonderful guy. Really nice to meet him in person as well. He does so much for the community, especially YouTube. He moderates for everybody. What a lovely guy. DTM Dave and his lovely partner Helen, spent some time talking to them whilst we were having a coffee. What a lovely couple. Such a pleasure talking to those guys. Really was great to speak to those. Good old Chocolate Chip Wookie, met him for the first time as well. Really nice guy. I mean, some of his collection is ridiculous. I don't know how he does it, to be honest, but what a nice guy. But yeah, really sorry I didn't get any footage with you guys. I'm really upset with myself about that, to be fair. But next time, I promise you, we will do that. But I also want to give a shout out to some viewers. Now, weirdly, I got recognised while I was at Echo, which was just such a strange thing. So I just want to give a big shout out to two viewers that tapped me on the shoulder and introduced themselves, which was lovely that they did that. So that's Lee. Lee's one of the viewers of Realms Reviews as well as USR. We spoke to Lee in length and he actually joined us for a coffee, which was really nice. So big shout out to Lee, but also to Desi T. Now we see Des T. in all our videos. He watches Smugglers, he watches myself, he watches USR. He came up and introduced himself. Lovely guys, and it was a real pleasure to speak to these guys. So yeah, keep watching, guys. If you keep watching them, I'll keep doing them. But what final shout out now? This is from the mask community. Now, I met a guy called Tarrant from the mask community, who I also briefly met over at Echo. Again, Tarrant, we will get some more time at some point to chat. But lovely guy. I'm really pleased to have met him as well through the mask community. So yeah, apologies you guys. I will get some footage next time, but it was an absolute pleasure meeting you all. But yeah, like I said, as you can see, this is my Echo haul. So we've got the Retro Mandalorian Boba Fett. Really pleased to get that figure, but obviously we got the 2 cases as well, just to start trying to display my things a little bit more optimum, with a little bit more kick. I got Stormtrooper Luke in the Vintage Collection. Thank you, Tim, for putting me onto that. I wouldn't have picked that up if it weren't for you. I don't think I'd have spotted that. Got the mini guidebook for the Kenner card backs from Gianni and Greg. It was an absolute pleasure to meet those guys. Very, very excited to get the book. I know it's almost done now, boys, but yeah, what a lovely little mini guidebook that is. I recommend if you collect your card backs, especially obviously Kenner, I recommend you get this book. It's superb. Got my speeder bike instructions. Really pleased to get those. Very, very clean. So that now finishes off my box speeder bike. Got a nice Blue Max Rebo. Obviously a couple of Luke Bespins, and last but certainly not least, my Palatoy Boba Fett poster, very, very kindly bought for me by Simon, Manga Fandango. I just want to say, you know, it was an absolute pleasure to meet everybody. You know, Gianni, Greg, Tim and Simon as well. We actually went out for a meal on the Friday night together. Such a pleasure to speak to those guys. Exactly what I thought they would be. Lovely guys. It was great to get to know them better. And yeah, just such a pleasure to be in their company. But yeah, there we go, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. If you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by and giving me a shot. I hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribing. And if you're one of my existing viewers and existing subscribers, thank you for sticking with me, everyone. I really do appreciate it. Leave any comments or questions in the comment section below. I always read everyone's comments and get back to everybody. And as always, keep collecting. See you next time.